Hello and welcome to Read the Last Page,
A Yap Session
book club
with your two favorite long-distance best friends.
The book I read this month is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt.
Yeah, and since we finally read the last page, let's talk about it. Hey B, how are you?
I'm good. I'm busy this week, I was just telling you, but got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm leaving New York this Saturday, which is in like 6 days as we're recording this.
Oh my gosh.
So lots of things to get done. My suitcase is actually right here behind me. But it's good. It's all like fun things with my friends and stuff like that. So it's good that I'm getting to like have a few last hangouts before I leave. But I just feel that like stress of like I want to get all my laundry done and like you know, wash all my sheets so it's clean when I get home, and like, you know, there's stuff that I can't pack until like the night before, like my toothbrush, you know, like
right.
Or maybe I'll just get a new toothbrush so that I can just pack it and then it's just done, you know, but just the stuff like that. But yeah, I have a few like books and movies that I've read and watched recently, but I want to ask you before we get into all that, like, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. My roomie Catherine went to DC last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because she's staying there for the summer for her grad school stuff. And anyway, so I'm like here alone for the next couple months, and so I'm like trying to like enjoy living by myself, which I do like. I think as I get older, I'm more comfortable with it. I used to be like really stir crazy, and now I'm kind of like, yeah, like it's nice. Like just being able to like make food in the kitchen and not have to like clean up immediately or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Little things like that. So I've been adjusting to that. I went to St. Louis this weekend, and I had like a little girls trip weekend with two of my friends. I know. We saw Hadestown, which I'm wearing a t-shirt.
Oh wow.
It was that's
awesome.
Yeah, that's why we went there, because I had never been there. There's a really beautiful theater in St. Louis called the Fox Theater, and I've never been there before. And my friend Kara was like, she always is talking about how amazing like the shows she's seen there have been. And so I saw that Hadestown was coming in, and I was like, well, I want to go. And so we went to St. Louis for that purpose, but we were like, let's just make a whole weekend out of it.
Yeah, of course.
So we like got a hotel room. It was like right next to like Union Station, and so like you know, they have like the whole Ferris wheel carnival situation down there, and so we were being so touristy. We were like, we're going on the Ferris wheel, and it was a lot of fun. And then Hadestown was like just so good. It was so good. It was one of my favorite live musicals I've like ever seen. So,
awesome.
Like, obviously now it's like infecting the brain where it's all I'm thinking about, and all I'm playing is Hadestown. Yeah, but
do you know, was it like a tour of Hadestown, or was it like, is it like a local theater company that does it?
Yeah, it was a touring cast.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was really awesome. Yeah, and what was really cool too is like the guy who played the main character Orpheus, he like we got an understudy who I don't think has like, which I always find really interesting. Oh my goodness, Cleo, sorry, my roommate's cat is like bouncing on the door. Anyway, but we got an understudy, and I always think that's so interesting. And he was really good. So like I was like, sorry, it's all I'm thinking about. Anyway, so when
I saw and Juliet on Broadway, I saw, I'm pretty sure, an understudy for Juliet, and like she was amazing, and like I'm sure that the regular actress was also amazing, but I was like I'm so glad I got this girl. Like, I don't know, you know?
Well, that's what exactly. So we got to intermission, and my friend Haley turns to me and she goes, I'm looking up who that guy is. We were like searching, and that's how we found out he was the understudy. And we were like, oh my God, well, I kept saying, okay, well, that's my Orpheus. Like, I don't care.
Right.
And then afterward though, I looked online on TikTok and I was like, who's like, what does the original guy sound like? And I was like, oh, he's really good too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, everyone's just really good. It's almost like they're all professionals. But when I was watching though, I was just like, imagine being an understudy. I was like, how is he getting, like, I can't imagine having to like, because he's a swing. He was a swing and then he was an understudy. So
wow.
Yeah. And so it's just like, I'm like, the idea of like I'm like, how do you remember everything if you like go on every like 3 weeks? Like, I'm like, he didn't mess up a step. I was like, good for you. But like, I could not do this.
I was thinking when I was so I've been in Matilda twice, and the second time that I was in it, by the end of the show, I was like, if somebody got sick right now, like, I could fill in for any role, just because I had like heard it so many times. But of course, there's a few roles like the Wormwoods, like Matilda and her parents, like I couldn't really go on for because I wasn't in those scenes, but like I could have said every one of Trunchbull's lines. So I wonder, like, because I've always wondered this too. I've never been like a swing or even an understudy. But I have a few friends that have been like swings for a show, and they have to know like every, multiple characters, or sometimes what I think would be so hard is like swinging everyone in the ensemble. Like if you're like the female swing, you could go on for anyone in the ensemble, which means you're doing the same choreography, but you have to know exactly which path each character takes, and if they're on the left side for this or the right side for that, and like that sounds so hard because it's like so similar, but it's just the little tiny details that are different, as opposed to like, I don't know, like Romeo versus Juliet. It's like, okay, those are two very distinct different parts, No, I
that's
just like
so
can't
real. And like there were like little things, even just watching live theater, I'm just like, y'all are so good at everything. Because like there's like a little tiny moment where like the actress who plays Eurydice, like she has to like literally strike a match on the stage and light a candle, and even that I was like, girl.
I could not do that, actually. I could not.
No, I couldn't either. I was like, you have to do this every night. And then at the same time, right after that, she like ties a scarf around her neck in like this really like intricate way. And I'm just like, I was like, 2 beats like back to back, 2 difficult things. Right. And like just like very casually, I was just like, I don't I don't know if you understand how impressive just that is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There was also a show that I went to see. I might have already mentioned this on the podcast, but I went specifically to see because the lead role, or one of the lead roles, was played by an actor who's from Kansas City. He's like around our age. And I was like, I want to go, not that he would like know me personally, but I was like, I want to go and support like a Kansas City person that I know. And then like, this was maybe kind of on me. I like didn't check beforehand, but yeah, like his understudy was on that night. And I was like, and like his understudy was great, but I was like, okay, like, but I actually wanted, usually like I wouldn't care, but I was like, I actually was going to see this actor specifically. So still a great show, but
that's so funny. Sometimes I think about how he was nominated for a Tony for that role, and I'm like, ooh. like we were like, I mean, I didn't know him, and I know you didn't know him, but like the circles were tight.
Right. It's like I did theater in Kansas City with people that were good friends with him. Yeah, and I'm like, exactly. That's like, I'm just like so proud of like a Kansas City guy, you know? I just love it. Okay, so speaking of things we've watched though, have you seen the new movie Obsession?
I have not seen it, and I don't think my friend asked me the other day, she was like, do you want to go see Obsession with me? And I said, no, but can we go see the Sheep Detectives? And that's what we did instead.
I've been begging Seth to go see the Sheep Detectives.
Girl, you're gonna love it if you go see it. But tell me about Obsession. I'm just too scared to see it.
It was so good. Like, horror is not what I go to, but like Seth really likes horror. My roommate Heidi really likes horror, so like me, Seth, Heidi, and Kelly all went to go see it together. This was like one of the best movies I've seen at the theater like in a while. Like it really got the mind going, and it was it honestly felt like high stakes like the whole time. And the actress was so good. Like the main girl, who was like the obsessed girl, like, because she kind of had to switch between like acting normal and then like the like obsessed like sort of state that she would get in, and she was so good at like committing to both, and like it would like, I don't know, it was so disturbing, and like it really raised some like good like thought-provoking conversations about like, you know, what does it really mean to love somebody, and what do we really want in a relationship, and like it was just like I was like amazed. Like we were like talking about it the whole way home, which like sometimes, because we go see a lot of movies, and sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, you know, that was good, and then like that's kind of the end of it. But like there was so much to discuss, and like I would go see it again, and there's definitely is some gore though, but not, I feel like a tasteful amount for what it was. Gore. Yeah, like it felt purposeful, but also there were a few scenes that were like very intense. But yeah, it was like, it's basically, this is not like a spoiler because this is like the first 5 minutes of the movie, but probably everyone knows this, but it's like, you know, he makes like a wish on this little wish stick that like the girl that he's into would like love him more than anyone in the world, and then it like actually works, and but like in a bad way, you know. And yeah, I don't want to like, I have like stuff at the end that I would like love to discuss. I've discussed with like my roommates a little bit, so, but I won't say on here because I don't want to spoil for anybody. But anybody that likes horror, like like this, you have to see this movie. Like even as someone who's not a big horror girl, like I recommend this. Like it's so good.
So. I had a friend go, so my friend Kara really likes horror movies, and so I see a lot of horror with her, and like she always knows that like I need to have like a sweatshirt or something because I will be hiding in it for like a majority of it. I just do like really bad with, I like horror movies. I do really bad with gore. Like I'm not a fan of gore at all. And I also don't like, I always walk out of horror movies feeling like really sad because I'm like, wait, but I like that character we just watched die. So Kara went and she like Danny tested it for me. And she goes, not Danny approved, so I can't see it. But she told me one specific scene that I was like, oh yeah, I don't think I should see that. But but I've heard only good things, and the director is like 26, which is insane to me. Like that is so impressive.
Heidi would be able to tell a story better, but it's like some director that she saw, some like small project that he did. Maybe he like posted it on YouTube or something and had like an $800 budget or like something like incredibly low, but he like made some really good like film. I don't know if it was a short film or what, but then it's like it got like recognition, and so then it was like some studio like offered for him to like make an actual
film
movie with a, I think I could be wrong, or it might have to do with a different person, but I'm pretty sure it was the director of that movie. So it's like,
that's awesome.
if that's true, it's like someone's getting their big break, and they did really well with it. Like seriously.
Well, and they made it for less than $1 million, and I'm pretty sure it's like on track to get, I think, maximum like 330 million in the box office. That I saw a tweet about that, so guys don't fact check me, but like it's the moral of the story is it's doing great, like so much better than they could have predicted, so that's super cool. And low-key, and this is not any shade, but like it's kind of funny because I feel like the premise of it, just like based on like the idea of like a guy makes a wish that like to have a girlfriend, I'm like, it's a bit Disney Channel original movie concept.
Oh my gosh.
But like it sounds like he turned it into like such a cool movie, and like such like something with like a lot of layers to it, and like thought-provoking conversations, which is
definitely
great.
layers. Like
that's awesome.
It's so good. I need to talk to Kara about it then.
Yeah, true, because she loved it. She gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. So.
No, I definitely would too. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, good stuff. Have you seen anything else, or is that the only movie or
No,
book
I think that's the only movie I've seen since we last talked. But what's crazy is normally I've been struggling. I shouldn't say struggling, but I'm just sliding into home with finishing like our book club books by the time it's time to record. But this one, Remarkably Bright Creatures, I really, really enjoyed, so I got through it really fast.
You finished it you finished it when I was on chapter 3, and I was like, right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So then, since then, I've read an entire book, and I'm like over halfway through another book. So I wanted to just talk about the 2 books that I've read recently.
Yeah.
So this one is called A Legend of the Future, and I got this from the Brooklyn Book Festival in 2024. Finally read it. It's sci-fi, written in the 80s, so very like space age sci-fi. You know, like I feel like that era is just like different. And it's actually written by an author who's Cuban. So he like this was originally written in Spanish and then it's been translated. And he's like, I don't know, they were calling him like the father of Cuban science fiction. So kind of a big name in Cuba. Anyways, first of all, the translation, or like I guess more so like the formatting and stuff, was like there was a lot of mistakes, which was like really bothering me.
Sure.
I feel like they needed like an editor, because there was like a couple times where there was just simply the wrong word, or like something should have been capitalized, or like quotation marks, just like an extra pair of quotation marks places, like, and I was like going back and looking like, was this supposed to be there? No, it wasn't. So that was sort of interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm like, the Brooklyn Book Festival is like, you know, small publishers trying to get their name out there kind of, and like get people interested in what they're doing. And it's like, I really, really enjoyed the book, but I'm like, the publisher, which I don't know what the publisher is. Well, it's on the back of the book. I won't put them on blast, but like, I'm like, you guys need to do a better job.
Right. Yeah. Like that someone was maybe failed by their editor, which is unfortunate.
Right. Like, I don't think it was, it's not like the translation was bad. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's like whoever checks the little details. Yeah. But anyways, it was reminding me of how we were saying this was like the space year, you know?
Oh, it is the year of space. You're so right.
Yeah. Yes. So this was like, they were like in a spaceship, and it starts with like something goes wrong and everyone in the crew dies except for like two of the people, and then one of them is like, he's like alive, like his mind is alive, but like he like basically can't move his body. So just crazy things, like if someone got too emotionally like hysterical, the other one could like say something to like snap them into like a conditioned state. So they like do that to the woman, and so now she's basically just like not really herself, but more like just like an analytical computer like being who's just like thinking about the logistics of how they get the ship back. So there was like ethical, moral questions there about like, was this really a good thing to do? One of the guys, like, they can't, this is kind of spoilers for anyone who doesn't want to like know, but I just figured this, probably not everyone's like picking this up, but like one of the guys, they're like, okay, let's like harvest his brain and connect it to the computer. Okay. Because like sure. He can't move his body, so it's like, yeah, but they're like, oh well, if we put him to the computer, like then. And so they were like training him like how to talk with them, and like it was so interesting. Like I feel like I've never read like a book that's so like sort of dry in its like sci-fi-ness. Like I read more, I guess, contemporary science fiction that's like written around now, that's more like easily digestible, but this was like I had to think about what it was all meaning. Kind of like one of his like inspirations was like Ray Bradbury, you know, like
Okay,
that
gotcha.
type of thing where it's like it's sort of like esoteric, like you have to, you know, kind of like think about what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like it really surprised me how much I was into it. um and there's like a dramatic ending that I like did not see coming, and I don't know. I just was like, so when I first started reading it, I was like, oh, this is like gonna be a drag kind of.
Sure.
But then like once I kind of got the vibe of like how I was supposed to read it, I was really into it.
Okay.
So people that like science fiction, like if you feel like everything you've been reading is kind of the same, or like you want like a different, like a I don't know, a different approach.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like I would recommend. Forewarning, like there are some mistakes in there, so just
Sure. Right. Sometimes I get really bummed out that I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to like read so many translated works in their like original language.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer. Like you're never
Yeah.
gonna fully understand what the author meant. You're only gonna know what how the translator interpreted it, which I mean, in some cases it's quite beautiful because like you get to like view the story through a completely different set of eyes, but like
right.
It's also like, but like I'll never be able to actually read the full story unless if I learn the language, which could take years and years and years.
Yeah, it was like interesting because especially in the beginning of the book, the characters had a lot of like sort of internal dialogue with themselves, and it would be in quotation marks, and it took me a while to like realize, like to figure out when they were talking out loud versus when they were just like thinking in their head, because normally our book formatting would be like, you know, like italicized is we for the most part understand like that's someone thinking in their head, but this was like in quotation marks, which like was confusing to me, because then a few times there would be thoughts that were in italics, so like that's what I'm saying, like it took me a little while to like figure out exactly how to understand what I was reading. But then once I did, I was like, okay, I'm locked in.
You're locked in. Yeah. Okay. That's
so
good.
Yeah, I think I read that in like not even a week, which is like so fast
awesome
for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And now I'm over halfway through Scythe, which I know Dan has read. I won't go too much into it because there's so much to discuss, and this isn't the book we're doing for the pod, but I'm so into it. I was telling like Seth and Kelly, like I haven't read, and I think maybe you, like I haven't read dystopia like this since the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Where I am like, I'm like needing to crack open this book every second I can.
Yes.
Because I want to know what's happening. And I am taking like, I am like writing in my book, and my nanny kids were like, why are you drawing on your page? And I'm like, you know, I'm like writing all, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm like, because there's so many thoughts I'm having.
Yes. Gosh, wait, I'm so happy. Okay, so I first read this book in 2018, maybe, so almost a decade ago.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember reading it like with you, like we were having a sleepover in your old basement, and like I was reading it, and then you made the comment about my cricket feet.
Of course. I'm sorry, and I do it now too. No, which is the
so
funniest
funny
part.
You go, can you stop rubbing your feet together? Sorry, anyways.
It just never ended.
It's so funny. No, I'm happy that you said it, because I was like, wait, I should be aware of the noises I'm making. You're right. Anyway.
No.
Anyway. But Scythe is like, yeah, I feel like one of those books where it's something about it. It's got such an addictive quality to it. And it's also like, it made me realize when I was reading it that I was like, oh yeah, I think I've only ever read one other good dystopian book, which was The Hunger Games. And so it's like, I don't think there's a lot of juice in the genre so much that I know of, but like Scythe made me be like, oh, this can be a good genre. Like it's not just like Suzanne Collins and Suzanne Collins like copycats in this genre. Like people are actually putting some real good work into like creating, especially YA dystopian. Like it's
so what I was kind of think tanking out loud to Kelly when I was talking to her about it, because she right now is reading the Hunger Games series. I think she's on the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes right now.
Okay.
But I was like, I think what I'm noticing, and it's not a fully formed thought because I'm not done with the book nor the series, but like, I think what's different about, one of the things that's different about the Hunger Games and Scythe compared to some of the other dystopia stuff that I read more so in high school, is like the Hunger Games and Scythe both, to me, started like we're just following characters, and it's just like, this is their society and they live here and this is how it is. And then as you read the book, you start to learn more about how like our real current present society could like develop into what you're reading, as opposed to some of the other ones that I've read, like
it's a completely different world.
Not to throw names under the bus, but like Divergent. It's like, I feel like from page 1, the book is trying to convince you of how dire the stakes are and how everything is. But the Hunger Games and Scythe, it's more like, oh, this is just our life. Like, yeah. Like, because doesn't the Hunger Games start with like, today's the reaping day, I'm helping my little sister get dressed. You know, it's just like, it's not like every year we all have, I don't you know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
I feel like it's like less like they're telling you, the book is less so telling you that life is so hard because blah 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 blah, and they're just showing you, by showing you what their daily lives are and how they go about going to the reaping, or, you know, the gleaning and stuff that's happening in this book. Like, it's just like, this is the world that they live in, not like, this is the world that they live in. Do you see what I'm saying? Does this make sense at all?
Yes. No, I understand. I understand what you mean. I think there's also something about it where it's like, so many dystopian books, I feel like, don't actually give me like the panic of what would I actually do if I was in this situation? Yeah. Except for like the Hunger Games and Scythe. Hunger Games gives you that feeling where you're like, because it's not a chosen one system, like, you're like, genuinely, what would I do if this was me? Like, thank God this isn't me. I have no idea what I would do. And that's exactly when I'm reading Scythe, I'm like, oh my God, imagine this being your life. Like, it's so crazy. Like, it's like, I couldn't imagine being put in this position. And it's like, what's great is like the characters are also fully grappling with every single step and choice they make. And it like, everything feels like a dilemma. And it's like, I just love the way that it's like slowly kind of written. Like, it feels so intricate, especially when you zoom out big picture. Like, I don't know how far you are into it, so I don't want to say too much. But no, like, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, because I'm thinking like in Divergent, you know, it's so like, oh, choose your faction, and when you turn 16, la 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 la. But it's like, these two, like Hunger Games and Scythe, it's more like, well, you can kind of, in a way, you could just ignore the problem in a sense. Like in Scythe, they're all like living for hundreds of years unless you get chosen to be killed. And it's like, so if it never becomes relevant to your life, you can kind of just be like, I guess I just won't really dwell on it. Or like in the Hunger Games, like, if your kid never gets picked, it's like, you can kind of turn a blind eye to what's happening. Until it becomes real for you. Then like, there's no escape. Whereas like in Divergent, it's like, if your family was all Amity and you wanted to choose Amity, it's like, what's the risk? What's the And also what's interesting is I'm reading the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and I just happened to read this part in the Catechism earlier in the day, right before I started Scythe or something like that, that was about like the church's view on like the dignity of human life and like what all that entails some things they discuss, like the death penalty and stuff like that. And then I'm like reading this book that's like so like acting on some of those questions of like what is morally acceptable and what is not. I was like, this is like crazy. Like,
yes. Yeah. No, that's great. It's also one of those books. Sorry, I know we've been talking about science just all about it. I just really like that book. I weirdly enough, I haven't even finished this trilogy. I've read both the first 2 books twice, but I haven't read the 3rd book.
Oh, really?
I'm scared to let it end. But one of these days I'll do it.
Maybe we should read it at the same time.
Sure. Yes. Let's do that. But anyway, one of the things I love about it too is that it's one of the few YA books I feel like I've read that like gets the boy and the girl character and perspectives so right. Like we switch between both their perspectives, and I think they're equally compelling, strong, fleshed out, fascinating characters with both of their own voices. And I mean, we can point to other books other dystopian books where you're like, well, who am I reading? But I felt like that was never an issue well, obviously I think it's in 3rd person, but I just felt like it was like very like I was never, especially too, and this is only a little bit of shade, but like it's written by a man, and sometimes I think it's really difficult for them to get the female voice correct. But I think he does a great job, especially for a teenager. It was like I really loved his character work. Shout out Neil Shusterman, literally, bro. Great stuff.
Like I have no notes so far. I just want to keep reading it so bad.
Oh man, I'm so envious because like I love the feeling of like being addicted to a YA book. Like there's nothing like it.
And it's so big. Like it's lasting me so long.
That's great. That's great.
Well, should we talk about our book of the month?
Book of the month. Yes, we should.
Okay, do you want to give like a short synopsis?
Yes, I can do that. Okay, so we read Remarkably Bright Creatures, which is by Shelby Van Pelt. This book follows the perspective of 3 kind of main characters that you should know. But essentially we follow a woman named Tova, who is an elderly widow, and she works at her local aquarium as just like kind of a cleaning lady. And she forms a really close bond with the octopus who lives there. She names him Marcellus. Marcellus?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, is it Marcellus? I think it's Marcellus.
Oh, no,
I don't know that name though, so like I'll be honest, but I think it's Marcellus. Anyway.
Yeah.
So she forms a really close bond with Marcellus to the point where it's like they can kind of interact and communicate with each other. And so she gets an injury toward the beginning of the book, and essentially another character named Cameron, who's kind of like a 30-year-old man who's trapped in arrested development of sorts. He moves to Washington, where this book takes place, to find his birth father, and he ends up getting Tova's job at the aquarium, and they cross paths, and it's all about kind of all 3 of those lives intersecting. Do you think that's an okay job at describing what that's about?
No, that's like a good like overview, and how these 3 characters, their lives meet, and what happens between them.
Do you know what it reminded me of?
What?
Lessons in Chemistry.
Oh,
the way that
they have the perspective of the dog.
2:30 or 3:30, whatever his name was. 6:30, that was his name. Yeah, no, I miss him. No, yes. Well, I just felt like it was I really like it when authors are able to present us with multiple perspectives and they all merge together. Like they all have their own purpose of like moving the story forward. And I thought that this did so well, to the point where like I remember like we started immediately in the octopus's perspective, and I was like, what?
No, I literally
like, what
wrote,
are we doing?
My very first note is page 1. Hello, opening page. Like, captivity. Point of view of octopus. Titular line drop already. Like
literally. Okay, and I will be honest. I got to page. Let's see, what page was it? I think potentially. Page, 2, and I was sobbing.
Yeah, oh, I got that picture. I definitely got that picture from you.
I was really sad. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess this is the vibes of the book. But it's, I don't know. What else do you want to say about it?
No, that was a good overview. I feel like just like my general thoughts is like that I really enjoyed it. I found Marcellus like charming, and also like I like
Charming,
you know, like
octopus.
I liked the way like his sentences were.
Yeah, he was a distinguished kind of octopus in a way.
Yeah.
I was like,
and
cute.
like I cared about his days in captivity and how the rest of them were going to be spent. And then like Tova I found really interesting, and I felt like sad for her in many ways, and I wished I like wanted to be like, you know, like your friends care about you, like you're not like, you know, you're not a burden. And then like Cameron I actually found really infuriating a lot.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Oh my gosh,
I related way too hard to that man, to the point where I was like, this is really scary. So this will be an interesting conversation.
but what I was gonna say is like, but I wanted to see him come through, and I wanted to see where he could end up. So it's like all three of them, I wanted to see their stories through, which really kept me like turning the page. Like I like in different ways I was interested in each of them and cared about their story.
So. Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's something to be said for the fact that they all are very vastly different characters. Like a 30-year-old kind of like, you know, like I said, I don't even know how to describe him, but yeah, he is kind of like as close to like a deadbeat son as maybe you can be. And then like Tova, who's like this, like, she's a widow. She lost her son like 30 or so years ago, and so like she's like a very lonely elderly woman who's like, you know, she's got her ways, she's set in her ways. And then like Marcellus, who's just a freaking octopus, like it's like, and then like sometimes we're in Ethan's perspective, and Ethan's like this Scottish older man who runs the grocery store, and he's like the town gossip. But like what I love is that they're all such different characters, and they were all so well realized. And I liked the way like they all fed off of each other. Like it was such a weird ragtag group of people, but it felt really like I was like, I love this family, this is my family, like I care about them. I
feel like Ethan to me seemed like he was bringing some like Gravity Falls charm to me to the book. Like
wait,
like he
cute.
just seemed like small town, like insignificant to the rest of the world, but like to him everything that was happening there like mattered and was interesting, and it was a little story, which I don't know, I feel like in Gravity Falls it's like each little character's kind of in each other's business, you know.
Yes, that's so true. That is so true. Yeah, and I mean they talked about that too in the book, which I think is so interesting. Like I love that this took place on like the Pacific in the Pacific Northwest, because I'm not familiar with the place, but and it was like really heavily set there, not even in the way that it was just like described, but like the way the people existed was like very unique to, I believe, the town and the place where it was set, to the point where I was like looking on the back, I was like, is this author from like the Pacific Northwest? And like, yeah, she was raised there. So I'm like, okay, so she obviously knows. But I'm just like, yeah, it's so interesting. Like it really had that weird, quirky, small town appeal of it. Like, I don't know. It's so like even down to the point where I'm like, she would work at an aquarium. Like that's so cute.
Yeah, like something about like the aquarium, but then also like the ocean being nearby. So like the one character, is it Avery that like owns like this like the surf shop,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that is like something, obviously, like in the Midwest people can own different types of shops, but it's like that sort of life of like going out for a morning surf before you open your store. Like that's just like not that wouldn't be happening out where we're from. And it's just like that's only, you know, a handful of cities that have, you know, the privilege of living right next to the ocean. Like, is that like only those types of cities have that type of lifestyle available, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like something different, you know?
True. Yeah. And I think there's something too about, because like the water motif, the water, the water of it all. It's like, that is something that I feel like could only exist. Because I mean, I think too, there are a lot of movies where it's very, very important that like it takes place by the beach. Like I just think about like the movie Manchester by the Sea, or like something like that. Like the beach of it all, really important. And like that's what I feel like here. It's like it's so important that like the ocean is such a culture of their life, and the idea of like, yeah, like you were saying, like the beach being there and us being trapped in the aquarium with these characters, and then like how often we're revisiting the beach and the ocean and the pier and all of that stuff, and kind of like what's unfurling, without giving away spoilers in this part, but like what kind of is it, what unfurls and like what revelations are had through characters every time we leave the aquarium and go to the beach and go to the pier and are in the water.
Yeah,
it's so fascinating. And yeah, this was a sad book too. Did you cry?
I don't think I cried, but I don't really cry a lot when reading. I might feel moved emotionally or sad, but I don't usually have like an actual physical manifestation of tears.
Okay. I think I have a real issue where I'm like, yeah, I'll cry. Like, but
it's not bad.
Yeah, okay, that's true. It's not bad. I just have to feel my feelings. But
I like cry in real life a lot though. Like, yeah, I feel like I cry pretty easily, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like when I'm reading a book, it's just like, because the words are in my head, it's like all my emotion is like in my head too. Like I feel it inside, but it doesn't like come out. I don't know.
That's so interesting. Well, because like you see a clear picture, right? You're not somebody who like can't picture an apple.
That question has always confused me, but
okay.
I think I do, but I see the thought of an apple. I don't.
Wait,
I don't know. Like, I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, like when you're reading, does it feel like you're watching a movie in your head? Or are you actually just like reading? Do you not have that?
I don't know. I feel like when I was younger, I definitely would see the movie to where I would like forget that I was reading.
Yeah.
But I feel like nowadays, like, it's like I can see the characters and I have an idea of what the town looks like, but everything is sort of like if I was looking at it at the side of my eye. Like, I don't see them straight on, you know? It's like in my periphery.
Interesting.
So like I usually can't see like a full face for somebody. Like,
yeah, I mean,
but I know, but it's like, but I know I know what they look like, but I couldn't tell you what I don't know.
Yeah, well, like, I don't think I have a full clear picture.
Yeah.
But like, it is like when I think back to reading this book, it's like I'm very clear. Like mine. If your visualization is like you're seeing out of your eye, like mine's right here. Like it's like like I feel like I'm truly engrossed enough that I'm watching a film.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like it ebbs and flows for me. It's like sometimes I'm really seeing it, and sometimes I'm seeing the words and thinking the words. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. It's like, this is why it's such a hard conversation to have, because it's like everybody just has the way they think. Yeah. And if you've never known any other way, there's no way for you to adequately explain it to somebody else.
Because like we might be experiencing the same thing, but we're just explaining it differently.
different ways that we're interpreting it. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I forgot how we got here, but
we're talking about crying, like having the response of crying.
Yes. Well, so yeah, I cried at the beginning, and then like the entire time. This is just a book. I wouldn't even say it's like sad. It just pulls on your heartstrings. Mm-hmm. And so, like, the entire time I was reading it, I was like, ooh, ow, ow. Like that's, like, really upsetting. Yeah. But I wasn't crying. And then I got a little teary-eyed toward the end. Yeah. But a lot of people told me I'd be, like, really heavily sobbing. And I wasn't. I was proud of myself because I finished it at work. But I didn't want people to be like, why are you crying? But, yeah, I think I was more, like, just touched. Like, it's a very touching book. And, yeah.
It was a little embrace. There was an embrace to it.
It gave me the warm, cozy feeling in a weird way, similar to House in the Cerulean Sea, where you're just like, where I think it's just because I'm really a sucker for a family trope. Yeah. And so a found family for
That's
real. That's my and like it's just like it really gets me every time. So that's what I was feeling, and also it's just like. Marcellus was such a good character where I think we got a lot of chapters with him in the beginning, and then throughout the book his chapters were less frequent. Mm-hmm. But he was like such just a kind soul. Like he was just like, he understood Tova in a way that was like really beautiful. Mm-hmm. And they both had like the same kind of heart, which I thought was really just, it's so funny because he's an octopus, but I was like, oh my god, this is her true friend. Like they're true friends. And it was really lovely. Like it's like the dog 630 in Lessons in Chemistry, where you're like, this dog is so important to everything. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, wrapping this all up, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't, a lot of people told me it was like, they're like, this is gonna be one of your favorite books of the year. It wasn't like a 5-star read for me, just because I don't even know. I think it was like, there's a lot of things that like I saw coming from like a mile away, but also it's just like I don't think any of it was meant to be like shocking or like to surprise you. I think it was just like trying to tell a story of these people's lives. I just thought I was gonna be more impacted by certain things than I ended up being, so that's why I was like a little
I can see. I think I probably had a similar feeling with you there.
Which we could talk about it in the spoilers, but overall, like, it's like I gave this book to my mom for Mother's Day before I had read it, and I was like, I'm reading this right now, I just feel like it's a good mom book, and like I'm like really happy I gave it to her, because I'm just like, this is a really good book for everybody. I think if you want just an endearing story, a unique story, a story that like makes you kind of think about life in a different way, I like it. I think it's a great book. So
I finally started doing, my mom for Christmas gave me one of these little journals where it's like you write like after you finish your book, like the book and your favorite quotes and stuff like that. Like a guided book journal. And I think I told you about it because there's like stars in there where it says like rate this book, and then you can color them in, and you were asking me like if I was gonna do that. And it's funny because I like left them blank because I'm like, I don't know how to rate this one. A Legend of the Future, I gave like basically 4.89 stars. Like, but
that is so fun. I could see that's how we're so different, where it's like I need the round numbers. Like I need a rounded number. I can do a 0.5. But anything other than that, I'm like, if it's a 4.25 even, I'm like, no, that's too confusing. Like I need to condense it down, because things need to be in better like I need everything categorized. And I like a more like gradient scale. But it's funny because it's like after I read A Legend of the Future, I was like, oh, I have no issue filling in what I think this is. But then like for Remarkably Bright Creatures, I'm like, I don't know exactly how to put into stars what I feel about it, because I did really, really love it, but I
there were some things that I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I
I
get it.
do, but like overall, like I recommend, like, yeah, to like literally anybody who enjoys reading, like just in general. And also I think that's great that you gave it to your mom. Maybe I should recommend this like to my mom.
I think it's a really good, specifically, I think it's a really good mom book.
Yeah.
Especially, so there's a movie, and I'm so excited to watch it now that I finished the book.
Yes.
There's a movie that just came out on Netflix, and Sally Field is the main girl in it. And people, if you guys are from our generation, 9 out of 10 moms are obsessed with Sally Field. So like you have to recommend it to her so that way she can watch the movie with Sally Field.
Yay. Okay, shall we talk full book? Any spoilers now?
Yes. So if you guys don't want any spoilers, please leave now and we'll see you next time. But let's
or
get
go
into
read
it.
it and come back.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
So what's interesting is you mentioned like that like you saw some things coming, but you were
Yes.
like, but it's not like this book was supposed to be like, oh, spoiler plot twist,
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
like maybe that's fine. But it's like on page 36, I remember that sometimes you've told me like you think it's interesting that I write down like my predictions and stuff.
Yeah, because
So-
I just don't do that.
Yeah. Like what I wrote on page 36, which was, the beginning, before I really fully understood the ages of the characters. But my prediction was that Tova is the mother of Cameron and Cameron's her lost son. And like that was like it's like obviously that doesn't make sense with their ages, but I think like at that point in the book I wasn't really thinking about how old they were. Like, obviously I would have seen that doesn't make sense. But in a way, it sort of ended up being true in a way,
Yeah.
with him being the grandson. But yeah, so I kind of was like, then like as I got more acquainted with the characters and like realized the ages, I was like, okay, like that's not going to be exactly what it is. And then like later, page 128, I said, new prediction, Cameron's gonna go live with Tova as like her live-in person that helps her so that she can be free from going to like not a funeral.
A live-in assistance.
Like an
Oh, that's crazy.
I did not write funeral. I don't know why I said that.
So
I
funny.
just wrote like a home is what I said.
Sure.
And then like and then he gets a place to stay, and like a job and everything. Like I was like, oh, they're gonna fill like the void for each other of like her like son and him like needing purpose and direction.
Yeah.
Which again wasn't exactly right, but it
on
was
the
like
same
sort
there.
of
Yeah, same
yeah.
wavelength.
It was sort of close. And so anyways, I just thought that was kind of interesting that I had sort of the idea from the beginning, but like not quite fully realized and fleshed out in the right way.
Well, like I think you know this about me. I've had a recent conversation with my friend Kara about this, where I think I discovered that I have a real man's way of reading books sometimes, where it's like she was talking about how like she was like, isn't it funny that sometimes boys are like, you'll ask them their opinion about a book and you'll be like, what do you think's gonna happen next? I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's just like, she's like, I feel like I'm always like plotting, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't plot. Like I don't plot, and sometimes I feel like that makes me a bad reader, but also I just like feel like I'm very much somebody who I kind of just want, like, I think I have the thoughts creep in, but I'm like, I'm just gonna see where it goes. So I walked into this book knowing, like, as soon as we met Cameron, I was like, and saw his relationship with his aunt, I was like, okay, so I feel like him and Tova are gonna somehow end up being like a team together.
Yeah.
And like he will fill the void of her son. And then like within like a few chapters, again, like kind of like you, I didn't know exactly how all the ages worked out, but I was like, okay, they're probably related. But then I like kind of forgot about it until that line by Marcellus came up where he was like, I'll tell you one thing, these two are for sure related. And I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, oh, but I knew that. But again, right. Yeah, it's like you have the vibe immediately walking into the book where like you understand how it's going to unfold, even if you're not sure exactly how it's going to. Which is why it's like I'm not angry that things felt predictable, because it wasn't about the shock factor of anything. Like nothing was meant to be a quote unquote reveal. It was more so about like watching their lives unfold kind of at the same time and together. Like it's just about like trying to weave together different characters and like storylines, which I think is more of an interesting challenge than just if you were to be like, and they're related. She's the grandmother. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure. I have a question for you.
Okay, go off. I'm scared.
Why
sorry, go.
Why do you feel like you relate to deadbeat son?
My boy Cameron. Well, first of all, I'm obsessed with that man. I don't know, something about him. Like I loved him. Interesting. So I kind of used the word arrested development. I guess that's 2 words, but you know the phrase arrested development earlier, because he's somebody who, because of the state of his family, he has a lot of baggage. And I think a lot of trauma from his childhood, where it's just like he felt abandoned by a lot of people in his life. And he never had real stability outside of his aunt, which I think is really like just telling of the person he grew into as a 30-year-old. There's very few times I get to read in books from the perspective of a 30-year-old or somebody who's close to my age who deals with something like arrested development, who feels like they have like stopped growing and they aren't reaching their full potential. I feel like there's so many times I'm reading books and it's like everybody should have it all figured out by the time they're 30, and especially 27 has been like the worst year of my life. And so I'm like trying really hard to like come to terms with the fact that I feel really stunted in a lot of different ways. And reading from Cameron, he's very much somebody who, like he puts a lot onto, like he makes a lot of excuses for the way he's acting because of his past. And so his journey in the book is trying to get him to realize that he has to grow up. And so there's through the little things where it's like he decides he's going to find his dad. He moves away. He tries to like get money to pay back his aunt. He meets Avery, and there's something in the way Avery interacts with her son where he's like, wait, that like is really impressive to me and makes me want to feel like a better person. I related to something about that so bad. It's like kind of like when you go to like you visit your friend at work, or you go to like a dinner thing with your friend and you see how they interact with other people outside of you in maybe a more professional way, and you're like, wait, I gotta pull myself up in my bootstraps, guys. Even though maybe I operate the same exact way, but like there's something about like seeing somebody who like you just see in a different way, and then you're like, wait, that makes you want to try and be better. I just felt I loved the way his story unfolded, in the fact where he is my king and avoidant. Me too. And to the point where he's like, everything's going to SHIT and I'm going to run away from my problems. And he quite literally breaks down on the highway in an ironic way. And like, he's like, wow, I'm like running away from my problems, and my car stalls. Like I literally stall. Like I literally have like nothing that I can like do. And then he just, without even thinking about it, he's like, I'm heading back and I'm fixing it. And it's like by the end of the book, he doesn't have his life fully together, but he's got the ambition and the drive to do better, which he kind of always had. He just didn't realize how to fully implement it and really take hold of it. And so not only did I find him really relatable in all the messy parts of him, I found him to be really inspiring in all the ways that his character arc fully wrapped up. For like, it's kind of like the whole like girl who's going to be okay. Like you can like all those memes that are like, is 27 too old to start over? And it's like, no. So that's why I liked him. He was kind of like, my biggest issue with him was the I think he goes from 0 to 100 really quickly in the way where he has a couple bad moments and then he's like, and everything's awful and I'm running away. And I felt like that was a bit extreme. I think that could have been maybe like laid out a little more gradually than it was. But overall, I just thought that it was like a refreshing character to read from, especially because he's supposed to be an adult and everyone else around him was like, you got to get your stuff together. And he's like, I have it together, I'm fine, but it's not.
Well, I mean, definitely I'm seeing everything you're seeing, and I can agree or appreciate all your points. I was curious though, because you said deadbeat son, and I'm like, I hope Danielle doesn't feel that way about herself. That was what was concerning me.
I do. I do. But like, wait, it's like that thing. I can't remember. I viewed a piece of media recently, and I can't remember if it's this or if it's a TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember if it's this beautiful book or a TikTok. But I saw something recently that was like, how do you operate throughout your 20s without feeling like you're in a race to a finish line, and how do you know that your mom's not always sad for you? And like, that is kind of 27. So that's like, if I'm coming from that perspective, that's why Cameron is really important to me. I think he's also somebody who it's just like, you realize he's somebody who never felt fully chosen and wanted. And the idea that he kind of forms his own little makeshift family in this town, with like Ethan and Avery and Tova, like that is that's like my, like, I think that's every person's, like, maybe not every person, but every person who's me. It's like deep dark fantasy where it's like, in a perfect world, I can move to Washington and I can find a beautiful small town, and like it will be like a really weird place, but like it will fit me perfectly. And I
do it.
Yeah, the thing is it's like I can't.
Oh.
But I don't know. Maybe one day.
One day I hope you can.
Thanks. It's just like, it's there. I want to do it, and then there are things that Cameron comes to terms with too when he's there, where it's like, oh, but I've got a bad car, and I've got like, and I don't really have like what am I going to do when my cell phone breaks?
Yeah. No, that's like, those are the real questions.
All those logistics where it's like, I just can't move to the Northwest without knowing a good car repair shop.
You'll find the local grocer who's friends with the car repair guy.
Yeah, and he'll let me live with him, and it will be great. And he also has a crush on my grandma, but we don't know it yet, and it's great.
Well, I think like, so I'm reading through my notes. First of all, I also want to touch on your point of like being 27 and like the race of life, and how like your parents, are they sad for you and stuff, and like I definitely am relating to you in the age 27, and like, have I achieved what I wanted to achieve? Like that's rings really, really hard and true for me. With like my dance career and stuff, I'm really proud of the things that I've done, but there's a lot of things that I thought would happen, and like I thought would have happened 4 years ago, or like within the past 4 years, that just simply haven't. And so it's like you know, like, what am I running towards? What am I working towards? Like, what am I? So I'm just saying, like, I feel you and I relate to you.
It's tough out here.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I was looking at my notes about trying to find anything about Cameron, to see like what was I writing down about why I found him like a bit irritating
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, which again, not the whole time. It's not like I hated him as a character or anything.
Right.
I just found him hard to it's not that he was hard to root for, because I was rooting for him. I did want to see him, you know, make some mature choices and like find his own way to like grow up and grow through.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess a lot of what I wrote down was um like the way that his relationship with the girls in his life, one being Katie and then later Avery.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of my grievances I was having with him were about his relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I think that I was put off by that, which made his other moments of like his other flawed moments, I already had
like an annoyance,
a
with
bias
him? Yeah.
against him, because like I hear everything you're saying and I'm like, wow, that really is like an interesting, compelling character that I would want to root for.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, when I was thinking back on the book, I'm like, I got so frustrated with Cameron a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things is, I'm pretty sure this is when he and Katie are like, she's like about to break up with him or something like that, and he's like, can't we just talk? And it's like, yeah, well, like, why didn't you start the conversation, buddy? Like, it's obvious this isn't the first time. Like, it was just, I don't know. I just think I was thinking about Katie and how she must feel having a boyfriend that like consistently
so
like didn't show up and didn't follow through with what he was supposed to do, and then she's always having to play catch up. And like, I felt really frustrated for her, and I felt really mad at him for being immature. Like, I would never want to treat a person I was in a relationship with that. Like, and so I was just like, felt annoyed with him that he would. So like that already, and I mean, that's how we start the book basically, is when we're first meeting Cameron, is he's having issues with his girlfriend at the time. So like that, I think, then colored the way that I saw him the rest of the story. And then like, this is just me, but like then later, like all the things that he's talking about Avery when he first meets her, and visually what he enjoys about her, I never
really like being in the man's head when he finds a woman objectively attractive.
I just didn't really appreciate the it's okay for like a man to enjoy like looking at a woman, but like everything about her that was described was like small and little, and it felt like, oh, like my perfect little Avery, like she's so petite and la la la, and it just felt like almost infantilizing her in a way, and like her womanly body being infantilized. That's how it was described multiple times. And I already didn't like the way he treated the last woman in the like in the other relationship, and then this is how we're entering the next one. So as I'm reading my notes, I have like one other note of when like I said, yeah, the second time a friend is cleaning up his spills, he's really not grown. So there was something else that I wrote down about someone helping him clean up a spill like at the friend's house, but everything else basically is about his, like, anything sort of negative, I quote unquote, that I wrote down was really him and the woman that he was like in a relationship with or starting a relationship with. So I think that maybe that is just what was more pronounced in my mind about his character, that just took over, and I felt really bothered by those things that were happening. So then all this like compelling character development that you saw, I feel like I was like sort of jaded towards,
I see.
like, you know.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, especially the fact that, like, I don't know, I think his relationship with Katie is really interesting to me because I viewed it so differently than you, which I think is really interesting. And your feelings are very, like, I 100% see where you're coming from. I just find it so interesting because, I mean, our first meeting with him was through his aunt Jean, I guess is how you pronounce him. And, like, he's, like, very caring towards her. And so, like, that was my first like thought about Cameron. I was like, oh, it's so interesting. Like, he always has a really low self-esteem. But he's got this very sweet relationship with his aunt. And then it's like, when we meet Katie, I'm like, Katie's so mean to Cameron. He's just trying to figure it out. To the point where, like, I got really mad when she was throwing all his stuff out the window, because I hate whenever that's used in anything. But, like,
it seems, I'm like, would anybody really do that?
It
seems a little bit like,
I don't like it ever used. And so when that happened, I was like, and then, like, this is just because I also have, like, rent insecurities, but I was like, where's he gonna live? Like, I was like panicking. And so it's like, yeah, I just didn't catch on to any of the stuff that you were, which I just think is an interesting, like, we just read it differently.
Yeah.
But
no, like, I do think it's mean that she threw his stuff out, but, and, like, I don't really condone that dramatic of a pushing someone out of your house, but at the same time, it's like, I could tell that, like, this is, like, not the first chance she's given, not even the 10th chance she's given.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, I feel, not that I've, like, been in a situation like this, but it's like, I could understand how she got to that point. Like,
for sure.
If I was in a relationship like that, like, I would be doing something dramatic too. You know?
Well, like, what's interesting is, like, you see it throughout all of his little relationships. Like, right after he breaks up with Katie, or Katie breaks up with him, he goes and lives with his friend. I can't remember his name. Brad, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, that sounds right.
But he goes and lives with his friend, and his friend is, like, kind of, like, off. Like, he's like, how long are you staying here? You can tell he has this is why I called him, like, he's in a clear arrested development where he's stunted. He's not emotionally growing in any way. Yeah. And so it's like, he's not just treating, I don't think, Katie like this. He's treating everybody in his life like that. And so it's like, you see it too with his friend Brad. And then it's like, when it comes to a head for me, which is so funny, it's when he's like, I can't even change the trash liner right. Like, I can't even get, like, the bag right at the aquarium with Tova. Because, like, I'm like, that's why I related to him, because, like, yeah, I can't even put the trash in. Like, it's like, and it's not just about the trash, it's about everything. He's like, I can't, I'm not living right. He's like, I can't live a life right because I was never given the tools to live properly. And it's like, and there is some point where, and he has this whole thing with Aunt Jean where it's like, he's like, I was dealt a bad deal. And she's like, it's not about the deal you're given. Like, everyone's given a random deal, but it's about how you play it. Like, it's like what you do with it. And that's kind of the real catalyst for his eventual maturity. But it's just like, I think for him, like, in everything you said though about Avery is like 100% I agree. And I actually kind of wonder if that's something that we should take up with the writing and the author and less so the character. I don't know. I'm going to go back and read it. I think a lot of authors have, like, a thing where, like, when they're writing women, specifically when it's mostly their goal, like, the purpose of the character is to be, like, the love interest, almost plot device for the actual main character. Yeah, it can come off a bit like almost infantilizing, almost like overly sexualizing for kind of no apparent reason. Yeah. But I don't know. I just, like, think, like, I understand why, if you kind of, like, were turned off by Cameron, he's a hard character if you're turned off by him in the first few chapters to kind of get fully on board with. I think just because I, like, hashtag related, I was like, you got this, King. Keep your head up. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, what's interesting is hearing you speak and stuff, and now I'm thinking, like, he sort of has, to an extent, no issue asking for chance after chance or favor after favor from example, Katie, Brad, his aunt. Then on like the flip side of that, is Tova, who like always feels it's a burden to have someone help her.
Yeah, for sure.
Because she's like, well, I should be able to do it on my own, and I don't want to inconvenience anyone. Whereas her circle of friends is like, if you need us, we are there. Like,
for sure.
Like, stop worrying about if, and you mentioned like that Aunt Jean said it's not the hand you were dealt, but how you play it or whatever. And it's like both characters were dealt, everyone's dealt something bad in their lives, but theirs is a little bit harder than a lot of people's, with Cameron like not really having a mother, and Tova losing her son, and like the way they chose to play it is so different, because like Cameron has trouble finding motivation and self-esteem, to where he kind of in a way like mooches off of a lot of people in his life, whereas Tova is like, okay, my son passed away like forever ago, now my husband's gone, like I need to be self-sufficient and not reach out. Like they're kind of two like opposite ends of the spectrum in a way.
That is so true. Yeah. What's also interesting though is like, I at least view it as like, I think they also are both dealing with real lack of growth. Like they're both kind of stunted in their own lives. Like they both feel kind of like very because like there's no progress, I think, that has been made in Tova's life, especially since her husband died. Like, yes, she works at the museum or the aquarium, and yes, she's finding like joy in like being with the sea creatures, but like her whole life, I think, is very ruled by her kind of like pushing things down. Like she's repressing a lot, and she obviously, it's been 30 years since her son died, and like she's not letting go of the fact where it's like she's like, I know something happened, anything that someone tells me is another clue, which is like, I think that could be like anybody would do that, so it's like that's no fault of hers. But it's like we meet them, they're both very different characters, but they're dealing with the same feeling of isolation and like avoidance of their issues, which is like kind of like where they meet in the middle and why they connect to each other. But yeah,
they're so two sides same coin.
That's so true.
Speaking of though Tova's growth, like one thing that I noted was towards, I don't know, somewhere beginning middle, she like goes to her late husband's grave, and she sees like other people like speaking out loud to their deceased loved ones, and she's like, I don't really understand like how they do that, and she like tries, but she says like one sentence and like leaves, and it's like really uncomfortable to her. And it's like, I'm pretty sure what you were saying, because like she hasn't really allowed herself to grow through all of that like pain of loss. But then at the end, page 333, I think she's like speaking to Marcellus, which either when he's in the tank or she's taking him to the ocean, or maybe after she released him in the ocean. I'm not exactly sure exactly when this happens, but I wrote, she's finally learning how to talk to the open, to those that she doesn't know if they're listening, like her husband at the grave. Like, no, she and Marcellus do have this, this connection, but she's like, in this moment, she's like talking to him, and it's like she doesn't really know how much she's how much he, like the octopus, is understanding. And so that is sort of something that is like a little bit maybe silly or like uncomfortable that she wasn't able to do earlier in the book, and now like she's at the point where she can like openly talk. It's not really to avoid, but talk out when no one can like verbally respond to her,
Right. That's so true. I feel like there's something there too about the way where I think she feels very like misunderstood or not so seen in her society. But then it's like the only thing that's like can't actually speak to her is like the thing that like she has the strongest relationship with in a way. Like it's just something about her and like Marcellus in their communication style. It's like I think she's got the closest bond with the octopus, more so than any of the women she goes to lunch with, or any of the people who like, even Ethan, or like whatever, like any of the people she interacts with on a daily basis. It's like the one thing that she feels a close connection to is something that can't even speak back to her. It's just like a quiet understanding there. And I just like, I think, there's something really interesting just about her character in that way, where it's like, maybe because she's felt so alone for so long, it's like that makes sense for at least that makes sense that like she would have that connection with an octopus. But it's and I think there's too, I kind of like what I was mentioning earlier about like the water motif of it all, something about her having such an awful relationship with the ocean, the water, because that's where her son died. But then like toward the end of the book, you know, she takes as Marcellus is like reaching his end, and like he's like, I only have so many days left, and everyone's like warning you about his death, and she takes him to the ocean, and she like leaves him there, like as like knowing that that's the last place she's going to see like her closest friend at that point, and just like she has to like fully let go. And it's like something about like letting go of Marcellus and knowing he's going to die in the ocean, and knowing that her son died in the ocean. Yeah. That it's like very like almost like accepting of it all. Like no more repressing it. Like it has to come full circle. It has to be all out in the open. Like it's a really like final note for that.
She's kind of like giving the power back to the ocean, of like accepting that it has the power to take, but like allowing, she's like, but you don't have power over how I live my life, and like I can let go into the ocean and like be okay with that. That's how things have happened or will happen.
And there's something too about the way where it's like, I think for a long time she just viewed it almost as this big scary thing, almost like a gravesite of sorts. And after Marcellus, she then has the conversation with Avery, who tells her about how she stopped a woman from committing suicide and jumping off of a bridge into the ocean. And like Tova just takes a moment to like think about that. It's like the ocean is no longer a big scary thing that like has the power to take away someone's life. Like the ocean is just the ocean. And it's like it has like, it's a place where like Marcellus lives and can like spend his final days, because that's where he loves to be. And it's a place that like, because like Avery stopped someone from dying, it's not a place that has inevitable death tied to it. Like it's just a thing that exists, and like lives can be saved here, and lives can be taken here, and lives can exist here, and it just exists as it is. So that's my take on that.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like all this like water like imagery and like recurrent theme that you've noticed.
Thank you.
To make it even more real, I accidentally my water bottle came open in my bag when this was in there.
You got it wet.
So it was all wet, and this is actually
a library
Heidi
book.
will know this by the time the podcast comes out, but I'm like, I think she got this like for not very much from like a resale bookstore, so I'm just gonna slip a little bill in there as a little extra like a little bookmark. Here's your new bookmark. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, is it like really bad, or is it just like casual water damage?
Like it's like fine. It's just like the, like I would say the last third-ish of the book. Like the pages are kind of wrinkly down there.
Okay, that makes
I mean,
sense.
it's not that bad. I don't think she'll
that's fine.
like be mad or anything. It's just I'm like, ugh, of course.
Yeah. I'm kind of crazy, and I actually really like it when my books have water damage because I like the way it looks.
I like the crinkle.
I like the way it feels.
I like the sound. Yeah.
like I just love a really like a worn-in book. Like I kept this book in my bag, and so you can see it's like bent out of shape and everything. And I'm like, love that. Like this is my book.
Like I read it.
Yeah, there you go.
You can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I love that. So yeah, it was a good book. And I'm excited to watch the movie. I need to see if anyone I know has a Netflix that I could borrow for
That's
one
my
day.
problem also, because I don't have Netflix anymore. And I'm like, okay, who can I mooch off of?
Right.
But I'm so excited to see how they do it, because I think this is such a quirky little book. Like I could picture... like just like even the aquarium, the fish, the townspeople, like it's got such a very specific vibe. I'm like, this could be a very cute, colorful, especially based on what the cover looks like. A very cute and colorful book or movie. Yeah, like I'm excited to see how it translates to screen. Yeah.
We read it at the perfect time, right? As the movie was coming out.
We did. Also, kind of like May to June is. I feel like it's like that's kind of the right time to read this. It feels like a spring into summer book. Yeah. So. Because
I feel like there was a little bit of like gloominess, but then like the sun broke through, so it's kind of like like the rain.
True.
And then we're coming into summer now.
You know what? My Goodreads quote about this, or not quote, review about this was do you know that Oscar Wilde quote that says everything in the world is about sex except sex, which is power?
I think so, yeah.
So I wrote everything in the world is about octopuses except octopuses, which are about grief. I was like, yeah, like it really is just like the whole book is just shrouded in like everyone's grieving or like death is looming. But it doesn't feel depressing. It's like it's like you said, it's a little overcast, a little cloudy. Yeah. But overall sunny disposition. So it's fine.
Yeah. Love. You have any other thoughts?
I don't think so. No, but like now I'm like really intrigued by octopuses. Octopi? Wait, I don't even know. I don't know what the plural is, but who cares? It's not important. Sorry.
I wonder if it's one of those things where, you know, like fish
and fishes.
Yeah, fish as a plural and fishes as a plural are both valid, but they mean different things. Yeah. Maybe they're both right. Because I feel like octopi, I feel like I've heard that, but then I feel like I've also heard octopuses, so.
Well, like, my thing is it's like, I feel like people might say octopi because it just sounds better. Like, it's like, because cacti. Yeah. And like cactuses, like you wouldn't really say cactuses, you'd say cacti.
I'm looking up plural.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Octopuses doesn't sound very good though. I don't like it. But I don't like Reddit. Octopi either. Okay, Reddit, yes. I love Reddit.
Octopus is likely a Latinized form of a Greek word. Okay, octopi comes from people believing octopus is a Latin word and should have a Latin ending. Octopuses comes from the standard way of pluralizing nouns in English. So knowing that octopus is not a Latin word, octopuses is correct. However, octopi is commonly used in some dictionaries accept both forms. Also, if it's in a poem, we know that you can do whatever you want in a poem. Interesting side note is that if you give the Greek plural to the Greek word octopus, you get octopodes.
Octopose. I've heard that. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So basically, everyone's
octopus,
right.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to say...
I feel like octopuses is the most
totally
right
fine
for English speakers.
Sure. Well, it's just like now that I know that it's not actually a Latin word and people are just trying to make it Latin, like it's like I can't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now it sounds silly.
Yeah, like sorry, it is incorrect. We've moved past it being incorrect and have made it correct. So octopuses is fine. Anyway. So yeah, everybody, now I'm going to be really intrigued by the octopus. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like it, like, I mean, they're kind of scary creatures, but like I feel like, and like some of the parts where like they were describing, Cameron was describing how like, because Marcellus would obviously get out of his tank and he just find him in like, I don't know, like a closet or like trying to like get out of the aquarium, and he was like, what do I do with this octopus?
I'd be calling 911. Like,
I would start crying. And my first day on the job, and the octopus is out of the out of his tank. Like, what am I supposed to do? I wouldn't like that.
I even get scared sometimes around like dogs and cats. So
yeah,
like, if it's
octopus?
like an, like an otherworldly creature, like no.
Like the second I get like a tentacle on my arm, I'm like, this is not gonna. No, I don't care.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What an interesting job, though.
I know. It made me kind of want to quit my job and work at an aquarium, because I was like, wait, I want to do that. Actually, I just want to clean the floor.
Yeah. It could be like, I see the appeal to Tova, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Should we wrap this on up? Do you have anything else to say? No?
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I recommend.
Yeah, me too.
Let us know your thoughts on Cameron. No, I'm kidding.
True. Yeah, a complicated character.
No,
for sure.
But the thing is, like, I was like, I'm frustrated with you, but I want the best for you, you know?
Yeah, I think the best, like, what you said, I think is the best way to take his character if you, like, didn't like him. Like, every character in this is, like, this isn't really a real word, but like rootable. Like, you can root for them.
Yeah.
You can root for them even if you find them frustrating. Like, I think too, it's like even Tova had a lot of qualities where it was like she said she's so stuck in her routine, I think almost to the point of it being crippling. Like, that starts to impact even her relationships. And so it's like everybody in the book is like having kind of reckonings with their own. So it's just like you can be annoyed with anybody. It's just whether or not you find them to be like worthy of rooting for. Yeah. And I think they all do have that quality of.
I agree with you. Also, I had written a note that I meant to bring up, and now you just reminded me that the thing that I related to was Tova in her I wrote, like, she suffers a bit from feeling like this is the right way to do things. I can relate. Like, you know, I wrote this down when she like cleaned Ethan's kitchen, like with this, like, his special t-shirt, and she was like, well, why would your special t-shirt be under the sink? Like, that's not where that goes. And it's like, I can see that permeating my life sometimes, of like, the way I do things in my space, I do them because I think it makes the most sense. And and so I'm just like, well, why wouldn't everyone else do it like this? And it's like, but it's like I'm constantly having to remind myself, like, even if it is the most efficient and it is the most quote unquote right way, if you could say that about something, that doesn't mean that someone else doing it a different way makes it wrong, or like, it's, if that's how they like to do it, like, it doesn't have to be an issue, and I should just let them do it. So I saw that, like, I would say it really was a flaw in a lot of ways for her, and I was like, man, I can really unfortunately relate to that flaw of hers, because I know that I like to think like, well, I've thought through all the options, and why wouldn't you keep your special t-shirt in the closet instead of under the sink? But it's like, you know, so I could relate to some not unredeemable qualities, but little less positive quirks, you know?
Well, yeah, it's like, and what's so great about this book is, like, toward the end, Tova grabs the letter of resignation off of I can't remember his name, but Cameron's employer's desk. So Cameron, when he has his reckoning that he fudged everything up and he has to come back and grovel, fully aware of, like, he has the full reckoning. He's like completely ready to beg for forgiveness. Tova's like, okay, well, I stole it, and I know I shouldn't have stole the note, but like I had a feeling you'd come back. And so like I kind of saved our butts. And so it's like, what's so great is like Tova's able to break against her kind of ways, and to help somebody like for the betterment of like their relationship. And then Cameron is able to have a full character development moment without actually having to get fired for that, which is detrimental. So I was like, wait, actually low-key everybody kind of wins and has their full character development. Like, it's good. I like it.
Yes. Love. No, that was a good moment. So really, all the characters I feel like had, well, I say all, really think about our main two, but like they had a chance to actively work against what was their nature to do something that was like better for the people around them.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, good stuff.
That's some good writing.
That's
Shelby Van Pelt.
Shout out Shelby. Is this her debut? Do we know?
Yes, it is.
Okay, this is her first novel. I will be looking to see if she's doing anything else.
Because in my little reader's journal that my mom got me, at the bottom of each page it says like other books to read by this author. And I had to write on this one like this is her first book. So
oh my gosh, okay. Girl, because I know this was released a few years ago, so I was like, I wonder if she's released anything else. But
maybe something's in the works.
Imagine writing a novel and then it gets picked up by Netflix, and also it's like a global sensation.
Wait, literally, good for her.
Yeah,
I love that.
Need that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess thank you everyone for listening to Read the Last Page. Coming along for our lots of books discussed on this episode.
True.
Our music and illustrations were created by the talented Sage Timothy.
If you don't know our schedule yet, we host our book club episodes on the first Friday of each month. So for next month, we will be reading Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. That book will be out on the first Friday of July, so be sure to pick up a copy and read it by then if you want to discuss it with us.
Yes, and it might actually be not the first Friday, because I think the first Friday is July 3rd.
Oh, yeah, okay, so we're on vacation.
It'll be like sometime in that next week. Just bear with us. And usually I would say that you'll see us in 2 weeks for your besties talking, but I'm gonna be out of town at a dance thing for a few weeks, and I'm not bringing my laptop and everything with me, so we'll miss you for our yap sesh this month, but it'll give everyone lots of time to read with us. But you can find us always on your podcast platform of choice, or if you'd rather watch your podcast, you can find us on YouTube, connect with us on Instagram, all the things, you know the vibes. For now, though, we want to say bye from B
and Dan.
Bye.